Rachel Zegler is back. Had to bring her back. She's back in the groove. Oh, wait, no. The movies are not moving back to the former Snow White star, the one who was found by Steven Spielberg, the lady in charge of the lowest performing franchise film for Hunger Games. Poor Rachel Zegler is yet to receive her comeback victory, and today we'll tell you what the new movie is she's starring in and why it's a danger sign for all celebrities who dare do what the Zeg once did. Folks, it is a pleasure. It is an honor. And we're so happy to be streaming to you from somewhere sunny USA. The studio is glistening because you're listening to what we have to say. And what is it we're aiming for? Well, accuracy, of course, unlike the dinosaur going extinct media. And yet here we are today, folks, to bring you what you need. Click that like button, smash that subscribe, and if you see the hype, well, that hype button, it's always ripe to hit the hype. She's back. Rachel Zegler, Snow White. Here she is. Evita is evading us no more. That Park Place carrying it. It's Marvin Montanaro. Folks, if you're not yet bookmarked to the website, well, you should be. It says the Zeg is back. Next movie appears to be a feminist thriller after Snow White box office disaster. And I've got a lot to say about this and where this career is and what happens to you when you attack the fans. Let's talk about all of it. Of course, there she is. I believe at the Met Gala. And she is dressed as, what was this one? She was dressed as the embodiment of the loss of innocence. I don't remember now the name of it, but anyway.
A lot like it's supposed to be justice, but that's not justice. And wow, that's really not a good look for her eyes. It looks like her eyes are schmooshed.
Well, congratulations, though, on lacing up her, the front side like a tennis shoe. Rachel Zegler is back in Hollywood, and her next movie has officially been announced. The actress is returning to the big screen with another project that appears positioned directly around modern social issues. Following the box office disaster of Disney's live-action Snow White, Zegler is set to lead NDA. That's a non-disclosure agreement. A psychological thriller acquired by Bleecker Street that focuses on workplace harassment, silence, power, and perception. According to Variety, the film stars, pay attention to this, it's important. It stars Zegler alongside Penn Badgley, Academy Award nominee Amy Ryan. The movie will also serve as the feature directorial debut of Audrey Ellis Fox. Okay, well, none of that sounds to me as if this is a big blockbuster kind of film. And we need to pay attention to, I would say, to the idea that we are now in halfway through 2026. When did Snow White release? How long ago has it been? Was that 2023?
No. It was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
no,
last year
surely not. No, Snow White.
It was delayed and delayed and delayed.
Yeah, but I think it was 24. I think we're a full year separated from it. I don't remember. The thing is that movie was so bad, I immediately decided to memory hole that.
We all it came out in 2025. You guys are right. I've had PTSD ever after seeing the thing and have forgotten when it released.
Talk about it.
Wow.
Okay, so a year and a half later, she's announcing that she will be in something, or somebody is announcing that she will be in something. It's not a big deal. But we need to remember, too, that out of Variety, back in February, Ed Helms, Nat Wolff joined Rachel Zegler in comedy drama She Gets It From Me. And we kind of joked about this because they couldn't find a distributor. They couldn't find funding for this. And to my knowledge, I don't think that they ever went through and made this. Maybe they're going to. We were laughing about it. We were saying, maybe they can find Roku. Maybe Tubi will put it on. We couldn't figure out where this thing was going to go. It has been hard for Zegler to find work. So we've got nothing on the comedy that she was supposed to be in. Now she's in this film that we can't, the names, you've heard of them, sort of, kind of, maybe. The budget's probably teeny tiny. It's a director debut. And I think that this is just this should be the warning sign to all celebrities out there, especially young celebrities who have, the potential is high, but also they are looking to make that sort of social statement that I don't know why they want to do so at the degradation of their career. But I think about like an Amanda Stenberg who's done sort of the same thing. And now look at the situation she's in. Christian, it's a cautionary tale for people who want to follow the Zegler model. Zegler, she's having real struggles finding anything to pick up in Hollywood, which I think means that Hollywood loves it when these stars go out and they make these kinds of statements. But if they do so, and if they're unsuccessful, they are all alone. They're out in the cold. It's all about what can you do for me? And if you can't bring in money, you can't do anything.
It's perfectly said. And, it's such a cold, cruel business. And one of the things that I think about a lot is, as much as I'm critical of Hollywood, I have a lot of sympathy for the actors because it is brutal. You could be great, you could be talented, and all of a sudden you turn 40 and there's, dozens of other actors who are younger, prettier, more successful, more interesting, who are going to push you aside. Having said all that, this one is interesting. First of all, Bleecker Street is a boutique studio. It's small. Now, when you hire a Rachel Zegler today, there's baggage and there's sort of woke baggage. And I think they're going to lean into that because I think this is going to be a no budget movie with no real marketing. And I think that the only way a movie like this gets any oxygen is having this sort of conversation. So you hire her in this potentially woke story. And I think that they're going to run with it. I think they're going to lean into it. They're going to unleash the full Rachel Zegler, because a movie this small with a budget this small and a potential this small, what have you got to lose? I think the bigger risk is putting her in a bigger project where she could really screw things up.
I mean, nobody is calling it, seems.
Right here.
Yeah. So Bleecker Street CEO Kent Sanderson praised NDA, saying the project immediately stood out. Quote, NDA was one of the best scripts I've read and is exactly the kind of bold, filmmaker-driven cinema we're passionate about championing. Now, I just want to, say to everybody, there's no guarantee this comes out theatrically. I mean, this could be direct to streaming, and it could be direct to a very small streaming, platform. So we don't know. But, Zegler was picked out by Spielberg. She went on to be in West Side Story. She was in Hunger Games. She was in Snow White, and then gone. Just gone. I actually think that her best play at this point, because she did get positive headlines for Evita. Culture, I know you don't like Zegler as a singer, but, whatever. I think she should try to go to Broadway and stay there for a few years and make that be the comeback effort.
I think that's the best play for her. I said it a long time ago, and obviously people enjoyed her performance in London. She was at the end there of the end, and I think when you have that kind of following and you can take that to New York, it's even bigger. We're watching some of these Broadway shows wrap up with very impressive tallies at the end of their run there in the box office. So, I think Broadway is the best option for her until somebody can find a way to, secure a better role for her. She didn't have a terrible performance in the Hunger Games prequel that she was in. I actually didn't mind that movie so much. It just didn't perform very well. I think she's done a lot of damage to her career. It's been self-inflicted. So I think your observation that she might be poison to anybody but these boutique studios, as Christian mentioned, that I think that's very telling. So listen to your agent and stay on Broadway and find your way back that way. And you have a better shot of winning an EGOT or winning all of the awards associated with an EGOT if you stick on Broadway longer. So,
and I'll say this too, Zegler was very abrasive, and one of the things she said that was so abrasive, beyond the stuff we found out behind the scenes where she was causing her co-stars to have to add extra security and directors were begging her to stop, when she came out and said things like, I'll be paid for every single second that I'm in this dress and and it's on streaming. It's like, here's an idea. We saw Brie Larson bomb out and destroy her career, and we've seen a comeback. Brie Larson seems to have figured it out, gotten herself together. Being likable, it turns out, is a very friendly thing to your future career. Ron, I think Zegler could turn it around, but I think she needs to begin, being amicable, being pleasant, being the kind of person that people want to go see. And maybe Broadway is the way to do so.
Well, I actually have a little bit of a better idea for Zegler's career than Broadway. However, it's still in New York. It's called Ellen's Stardust Diner. And she needs to go be a singing waitress for a little while and learn humility and see how she competes with the other singers who are also waitresses. By the way, I had a friend that did, in fact, work there. So
are you covertly sponsored by Ellen Stardust? Is that what you're doing right now? Is this a plug on the show? And I don't know how this is working.
No, not at all. But look here, the thing is, Rachel comes across to me, and I think to millions of other people's, as having zero level of humility for somebody who's never even made it in the business, and that's the problem. She was handpicked by Spielberg for West Side Story, which ended up being a flop. And not because of her in that particular case. It just was, I think it was timing, and it was a film that nobody asked for, and that. Then where she came up with an attitude of, hey, her attitude was, I'm this brilliant, look at me, superstar celebrity, but she never even earned the opportunity to say that about herself. If she would have been just humble, but even if Snow White had been a flop, if she had been humble, I don't think it would have hurt her career nearly as much. And there could have been a lot of other reasons why Snow White did poorly than just because, I think, when I watched it, I'm like, I don't think it would have mattered what actress you put in that role, Snow White. The movie was just awful. So it really was not helpful to her either, but she needs to learn what she probably needs to do is study under Brie Larson what it is that she did to make her comeback. I don't know what that is. I do know that Rachel does have a fan following, and it seems like
you're right, Ron. She does have a fan following.
Yeah, she's a single fan following her, but she seems to cater to a very, very like slender percentage of the overall audience, and that creates a huge issue when you're trying to do major blockbusters. Like it really doesn't. If you have very niche projects that are very low budget and go out to niche audiences, that's fine. But you cannot be a superstar, mega celebrity in major, production cost box office blockbusters and have this kind of an attitude and ruin the box office for these companies because they're not going to pick you back up. It's just that simple. They're not going to rehire you.
And I want to tee up, Jonas, to wrap this particular conversation. Jonas, we've played this before. We play it so many times, okay? Everybody has a moment that you wish you could take back. I don't know if she wishes she could take this back, but I just want people to understand. When we talk about we want Rachel Zegler to actually get that redemption arc where she realizes, I was a narcissistic young adult on a very big stage with a very big spotlight. And we've known a lot of people who go through that stage in life, but they had like 20 people watching them and rolling their eyes. And she had millions, maybe 1 billion plus, watching this. I don't know if she's going to grow out of that, but I want to go back in time just a little bit because this was Rachel Zegler, I guess months ago, because I'm starting to lose track of all this. I mean, Snow White just came out last year, so it can't be that long ago. But here was Rachel Zegler, and yet still, Jonas, we want her to succeed somehow, some way.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Which I presume, given the setting in the background, includes brushing her teeth, but maybe people will stand in line. Jonas, we're not rooting for Zegler to fail. We never have been. We want her to get a redemption arc. We want her to see, we're prescribing for you a better way to be successful. Please be, kind and pleasant and lift people up and don't be so divisive. Fair?
Yeah, fair. As far as the monologue goes, I think she needs to work on it before she goes into any auditions with that one.
A little more workshopping.
It looks a little too put on. Here's the thing. Just like if you show up to a burger joint and you want to hand them money and they hand you a delicious hamburger, if you're iffy about going to one burger joint versus another burger joint, if the person behind the counter acts entitled to your business, that enters into your consideration for the transaction. So if somebody wants to say, come to my movie, I hate you, and another person wants to say, come to my movie, I love you, I appreciate you, I realize that we're lucky anytime someone comes into our restaurant, which one are you going to feel better about doing business with?
Really hard concept. I'm going to have to go back and play that out. The equation is not making sense to me yet, Jonas.
Tell you what.
Nice to consumer equals more consumer. I don't know.
There's a reason that people who hate Chick-fil-A still eat Chick-fil-A. That's what I'm going to say on that one.
The pickles.
I always ask for the Chick-fil-A with no pickle, but whatever.
We
By the
recommend
way,
They refuse to put mayonnaise on a chicken sandwich, and I still go to Chick-fil-A.
I think the Brie Larson school of career comebacks is a two-step process. 1, open mouth. 2, remove foot from mouth. That's it. Not complicated.
There you go. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, and that means you are a true pal of Pro. Thank you so much for watching the entire thing, ladies and gentlemen. And we ask that you consider clicking that like button. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And remember, folks, we've got more content yet on the way. The drive-bys can't handle what we have to say, but we never stop, not for a minute, because we want to win it for you. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.